During your time in Peking, you got to sit next to one of the great charmers in the history of the world, Mao's wife. What were your impressions of her?
Well, frankly, of course, she was not in her prime when I saw her, but I rather wondered why he had married her. But it was his fourth wife, and I understand, according to some, probably unfriendly critics of Mao, that she seduced him from his third wife. Whatever the case might be, she was very, very intense. What I remember most about her that night was that she was sweating. The sweat was pouring down from her head and so forth. And I sort of wondered what was the matter, and she apologetically said that she'd been having some influenza. But I think it was tension. And as distinguished from the grace of Zhou Enlai and the warm hospitality of Mao, despite the fact that I knew that ideologically we were total enemies, she was one that made no bones about the fact that she didn't like us. I remember she turned to me in the middle of one of the performances and said, "Why did you wait so long to come to China? Why didn't you come before?" And I just ignored it and just kept looking at the performance. She was also interested. It showed at least that she had followed what had happened in America. She was interested in what happened to Jack London. Some way that had appealed to her. She said, "What did he die of?" And I, not being a London expert, I guessed pretty good. I said, "I think it was alcoholism." She asked about Walter Lippmann, who's incidentally, she had read some of his columns in the Christian Science Monitor, which shows that some of the papers are distributed there. And I made a point which I hoped got back to Mao. I assume that it did, assuming she was still on speaking terms with him, which I can't be sure of. But I said, well, he's over 80, but I talked to him on the phone recently, and I had on his 80th birthday, and that he's still very sharp. And so much for that.